Hey guys, we often get some very interesting comments that actually deserve a little bit longer response or a little bit more focus than what we can give right there in the comments section. That's what we're going to tackle today. Let's start with the Another Dream Trailer video. We got several good comments there, several questions. Let's start with a comment from Trooper Hoover. He says, "Your weakest link is not an approved style." Turns out there are several different styles of connecting links. I was using this one. That doesn't work. I have to use something like this. So I'm in the process of switching out all of the connector links from the little short piece of pigtail on my cargo buckles to use these clevis type connector links. These are rated at 3,450 pounds working load limit. These were rated at like 1,500. And since they're not approved at all, presumably the DOT has decided that they may not even be reliable. And it sort of makes sense because of the way they screw on. They could easily come loose. So thanks, Trooper Hoover. Okay, the next up is the working load limit math that I simplified in the episode. First, we'll start with the math and the approach that I used in the episode. I said we could take the working load limit of our tie downs, that's 1,166 pounds in our case. We could add up the four of them, one on each corner of the equipment, and that working load limit total is the weight, the max weight, that we can actually transport with those four straps or chains. That's not the way the FMCSA states this tie down. But after I figured it out, I believe it's still accurate. Now, the way the rule reads, it says that you can only use half of the working load limit of your strap or chain. It also says that you only have to tie down half of the weight of the equipment you're carrying. So if you total up all the working load limit on your straps, and that comes to 5,000 pounds, half of that would be 2,500. And then since you only need to strap down half of your equipment, 2,500, that would mean back up to the 5,000. I just got rid of all that and just made it very simple. Add up the working load limits, all four corners. That's the amount of equipment you can carry and be legal. If you have any more questions or comments on that, don't hesitate to leave that below. Okay, what's next? How much weight will the dovetail lift on the B-Wise trailer that we got? I talked to B-Wise about this. The answer is 6,500 pounds. Now, we have to be sensible about this. We couldn't put 6,500 pounds on the very last foot of the trailer and expect it necessarily to lift it. But the stated amount is 6,500 pounds distributed evenly over the dovetail. Similar question, how much weight can you carry on the dovetail? And the answer to that is 8,000 pounds. But we have to bring the sensibility back into play here. If you put 8,000 pounds on the dovetail, that's most of your entire payload capacity. You will not like how this drives, and it probably is not safe. So it makes sense that they say you can carry 8,000 pounds back there just to illustrate that it's got plenty of strength, but you don't want to put that much on the dovetail. What else do we have? Dan's Tractor Channel. I thought any trailer over 10K gross vehicle weight rating required a CDL. Dan, that's a common misconception. It's been discussed at length on this channel. We've talked about it on greentractortalk.com. This flowchart right here will help you see how that's not true. The very first question is, am I over 26,000 pounds gross vehicle weight rating? If not, we drop all the way down to, do I carry more than 16 passengers? Do I have hazardous materials? The 10,000 pound trailer weight does not come into play unless we are over 26,001 pounds. If you have more questions about that, don't hesitate to leave them in the description below. Again, these are the nationwide US DOT rules. Most states follow them. It's entirely possible that your state may have a more strict rule, but I haven't seen that. We've seen several states' documents as a part of what we've been doing. I have not seen one that's been more strict, but they may be. I'm no expert there. Okay, what's next? Josh Burnett. You might get you a little solar panel and mount on the tongue to keep your battery up. Hey, that's a great idea, Josh. Somebody else mentioned how the truck needs to be charging the battery, and it is wired that way. For whatever reason, our F350 doesn't seem to always put out power, or maybe never put out power on that aux wire. I've got a little tester and it does not light up. It lights up on the ridgeline. I haven't had time to investigate that. So yeah, maybe the solar panel is not necessary for that. The F-350 ought to keep it trickle charged, right? But there's a bigger thing for us. We leave our trailers, we have 3 trailers. Each of them have a battery and a charger. It's hard for me to leave them plugged in to a trickle charger all the time when they're not being towed. It would be nice to have solar panels on each of them so I didn't have to worry about it. I could know that the battery was charged at all times. We might look into that. One more comment on the Dream Trailer episode from David Harris. He says, I have a name suggestion. Leave it to Beaver, or the Beeve for short. Because with that beaver tail and other capacity, the trailer can get you into all sorts of mischief. Dave, I think you may have a winner there. I think we'll call it the Beeve. Okay, let's go to another episode. Never sharpen your mower blades again. First thing I want to say on this episode is this is by far the most successful start we've ever had on an episode. We have within just a few views of 400,000 in the first 7 days. It's stunning for us. We're not used to that high a view count. So if you're just now coming to our videos because you saw that episode, it was the first TTWT video you've seen, thank you for joining us. Now let's get to some of the comments. The one that happened the most frequently was, take the blades off before you clean the deck. Yep, good idea. I guess I just wasn't thinking. I really had my mind on other things. I was thinking about the load and go, how I was going to show that. I was thinking about just several other things going on. It never even occurred to me to take the blades off before I cleaned the deck. But once someone said it, I went, oh, yeah, of course. Next one. Use an impact wrench and gloves to loosen the blades, and that way you can avoid the block of wood. Another obvious comment once I see it. Yeah, that's right. You grab it with a gloved hand, use your impact wrench, you're not going to have any issue with the backside of that turning. It's going to work really easy. So thanks for that comment. Okay, what's next? Oh, use safety glasses when you're blowing out the trash. You know, guys, there's no prize for pointing out small nitpicky safety violations. I don't think you get any reward for that, do you? We try to do our best with safety, but okay. How about our sweet corn? We get a lot of questions about our sweet corn in almost every video. Let's take just a moment to show you a sweet corn update. This is the first time we've sprayed this corn here all season. We sprayed the first 3 or 4 rows once. Well, Christy kind of sprayed it. She didn't have enough in her tank to really spray. So this time we decided to get out the electric one that we pulled behind a tractor. I tell you what, it is hot today.
It is.
Christy's just going to drive along here, and I'm just going to go out and spray because corn's too big for us to drive over. And I'm just going to go along and spray morning glories there and crabgrass, whatever we've got right out here in this corn. We've got a lot of questions about what's the status of our corn. Well, the first planting, it's beginning to silk now. We got a pretty good stand on it. I think we'll have some corn there. This second planting looks really good. The third planting that we actually shot video of, we didn't get a very good stand at all. We got a deluge after that. That was the flooding episode we showed you. Flooding our yard was just after we had planted this, maybe 2 or 3 days. So it didn't come up very good. Crabgrass is heaviest right out there in the middle where that hump was. That's also where the best corn is. Why do we care about getting the weeds out of the garden? If we allow the weeds to grow in this garden, they will take away the moisture and the nutrients that the corn needs. So the corn really has to compete against all these weeds then to be successful. In fact, waiting as long as I did is not good. We should have sprayed this a couple of weeks ago, Christy. That crabgrass was just getting started a couple of weeks ago. It looks huge now. We just didn't get this area planted this season. We just didn't have enough time. We intended to have several more plantings, but it kept being so wet that we just couldn't do it. So I think we may use this area as our testing grounds. We may have some other tractors or other attachments. Folks, we're entering the fall show season. We've got 2 shows that we like to go to in the fall. The first one is the Farm Progress Show, August 27 to 29. We'll definitely be there the first 2 days, the 27th and 28th of August. Now, we'll probably have a little golf cart and be running around crazy, and if you see us, flag us down. If we're talking to somebody, come interrupt us. We'd love to hear from you. Also, we'll probably be, unless something changes, we'll be at the Deere booth at 11 a.m. near the compact tractors each of the first 2 days, the 27th, 28th. We might be there the last day. Check it out, 11 a.m. each day. The other show is GIE in Louisville, Kentucky. That's October 16th through the 18th. We've got several of our friends and sponsors there. I'm not sure where we'll be and when, but stay tuned. We'll provide you some more information on that. Folks, we really appreciate you watching our videos. We appreciate you kind of joining us for the ride that we've been on for several years now. And Christy and I are having a lot of fun, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.